Hello everyone, this is your second stimulus check and stimulus package update for July 26. We have a leak out of Washington. It looks like we are going to be able to see what the politicians are thinking. The New York Times were actually able to get a copy of the draft bill for the next stimulus package. I'm going to go into the draft bill, which basically outlines where things are going to probably be at. This is the simple outline of the next stimulus package. I will provide in the description down below the actual link to this so that you can see it for yourself. There is apparently $302 billion that are top line for Appropriations Committee, and you have $235 billion that's going to go towards HHS, that stands for Human Health Services. Then $20 billion directly to farmers. As you know, farmers have been hit pretty hard with the supply chains. There are lots of supply chain issues because of the virus. This has been a huge thing, so $20 billion to protect our food supply and to take care of the farmers is probably pretty well spent money. Then we have $21.3 billion for defense. That's basically going to go to contractors and people that work for the Defense Department. $200 million for TSA, Transportation Security Administration. $1 billion for FEMA. Now that's our Federal Emergency Management Agency. $1.6 billion for CBP, which is actually the Customs and Border Protection. $5 billion towards vaccines and distribution overseas. That's an interesting one. $13 billion for THUD and $10 billion for the Airport Improvement Program. And this is the breakdown of the $235 billion for the Human Health Services. It says $25 billion for testing, $26 billion towards vaccines research. Hopefully with that amount of money they'll be able to find it. $1.3 billion for workplace training and social distancing. Maybe that's for posters and signs and masks and stickers on the floor so that people feel confined to behave a certain way. Then $15.5 billion for NIH lab research, $25 billion for hospitals, $4.5 billion for SAMSA. This is for mental health, suicide prevention, and overdose response programs. $7.6 billion for community health centers. $15 billion for child care. $105 billion for education, including $5 billion to the Governor's Fund. $29 billion to higher education. $70 billion for K through 12. Of the $70 billion for K through 12, $10 billion goes to private schools. $30 billion is distributed to states within 15 days and must be sent by states to school districts within 15 days after that. The remaining $30 billion is available only to schools that physically reopen and is contingent upon a district reopening plan. Stimulus payments. These are included, but the amount of the payment and the eligibility criteria is yet to be determined. Now for this one, both the Republicans and the Democrats seem to be on the same page as far as the $1,200. So I do personally believe that we will have the $1,200 again. Steve Mnuchin has come out and has said that they're gonna have the same criteria as last time. Also, this draft indicates that there will be some extension of the enhanced unemployment benefit, but will likely be less than $600 a week. Also, they're looking at streamlining the forgiveness process for the SBA PPP loans, and there have been actually talks about the blanket forgiveness, where they are basically looking to have the loan forgiven right out of the gate, especially for loans under $150,000. They are also talking about a second round of PPP loans for businesses under 300 workers that can demonstrate a 50% loss in revenue compared to the reference period. Now, Mnuchin talked about this. He definitely wants the businesses that have been hardest hit to be getting this money, which includes businesses in the hospitality industry and restaurants and venues. Also, the draft indicates that loan forgiveness will extend to include supply cost, operation expenses, and damages caused by the riots, which is good for businesses. Then we have Healthcare Finance Committee. The Medicare Part B premium will not increase in 2021. Providers will not have to begin repaying Medicare advances taken under the CARES Act until January 1st, and the interest-free repayment period will be extended for an additional 4 months. Then under finance tax provision, they are talking about enhanced employee retention tax credit. Obviously, this is what Trump has been pushing for. Also, there is tax deductions for employer purchases of personal protective equipment and testing supply. Then we have stuff about liability protection for businesses. They want to make it difficult to sue businesses for getting COVID-19. You basically have to prove gross negligence, which is not easy. And at the end, they are talking about state and local government assistance. So basically more money for states and local governments to help make up for lost revenues. Anyway, I thought it was great that we get to see what the politicians are thinking about. Take care, everybody, and I will see you in the next one.